Welcome to the Job and Graduate School Search Strategy presentation produced by the University Career Service Department. By the end of this presentation, you'll gain strategies and tools to confidently navigate both the job market and graduate school opportunities. To begin, let's take a look at today's learning outcomes. For this presentation, learning outcomes, you'll leave the practical strategies for conducting both a job search and a graduate school search. You'll also strengthen core career competencies such as career and self-development, critical thinking, problem solving, and digital technology. Now let's walk through the four main key steps for a successful job search. When we think about a job search, there are four key steps to keep in mind: research, searching, networking, and applying with follow-up. Each step builds on the last, and together they create a strong job search strategy. Let's begin with the first step, research. Research is the foundation of successful job search. Before you begin applying, you should pause and ask yourself some important questions. These questions help you define your direction and focus your search on roles that truly fit. The first question to ask yourself is about your skills and experience. Start by reflecting on your current skills and experiences and what strengths do you bring to the table. Think about coursework, projects, internships, jobs, leadership roles, and even volunteer work. All of these shape the unique value of what you offer to an employer. Once you've identified your skills, the next step is to consider what you want from a job. Next, think about what you're looking for in a job. Do you have value, flexibility, stability, growth, opportunities, or creativity? Knowing what you want helps you to identify positions and employers that are the best fit for you. After you know what you want, the next step is to explore opportunities available in your field. Once you know your skills and what you want, it's time to look outward about the opportunities that exist in your chosen field. Which industries are growing? What organizations are often known for hiring early career professionals? Where do you want to work geographically? These are where your research opens doors. Now let's connect these opportunities to your long-term goals. Finally, think about the big picture. What do you want to accomplish in the first step of your career? Maybe it's gaining experience, building a professional network, or working towards graduate school. Your long-term goals should guide you to your short-term decisions. As you're thinking about your goals, it's important to consider the broader career readiness skills employers values. As you reflect on these questions, it's also important to think at these correct career readiness competencies. And here are a few that you will want to take into consideration: career and self-development, communication, critical thinking, equity and inclusion, leadership, professionalism, teamwork, and technology. The next few slides provide an opportunity for you to have a mini activity. You can build your research by considering such as your location, your skills, possible connections, and creating a chart. And what that may look like is you may have a tracking Excel sheet that shows your location, your skills, possible connections, potential to advance, your interest, or training programs that may be beneficial for you. Once you've completed the activity, move on to the next component, searching for opportunities. Once you've identified your target companies, the next step is searching for your opportunities. This is where you turn your research into action by looking for positions that match your skills and career goals. So the question is, where should you be looking for these opportunities? And here is a guide or ideas to be able to find those opportunities. As you can see here, career fairs and events are a great way, alumni networking, finding a professional association within your field. Euler is one of our standout links, our career management system for the institution for you to be able to register for career fairs. We also have an event called Industry Insights that's held weekly that you can register for, that you're interested potentially in employers. Here's another quick activity that you can participate in. Find a few links. I recommend using Handshake or LinkedIn and follow the different criterias and compare it with the results on the next slide. The third component in your job search is networking. Networking isn't just about handing out business cards or connecting on LinkedIn. It's about building real relationships with people who can share advice, provide insight, and sometimes even connect you to opportunities. Think of network as planting seeds. Every conversation you have could grow into a future opportunity. The stronger your relationships, the more doors open for you. These are potential opportunities that you may have not considered, such as university clubs or organizations. Again, career fairs is an excellent way to build networks with future employers, volunteering, professional organizations, and even contacts such as your faculty and staff or friends and family. Keep in mind, you're building a relationship, not just a connection that's going to be simple. You also have to take a more deeper look in the type of employee or the character that you want to have in order for you to potentially be recommended in the future. Now that we've talked about networking and how it can open doors, let's look at the last component, applying and following up for applications. When applying for employment opportunities, it's important to consider the applicant tracking system, or ATS. Most large companies use ATS to find and review applicants before a human ever sees them. Let's look more closely at how this system works. So here you can see the job is created and then the job is posted. Candidates apply, applicants are screened, and then candidates are reviewed, and then the best candidate gets hired. Let's take a deeper look at best practices to help you in regard to the application tracking system. Tailor your job documents, use keywords and phrasing from job applications, stay away from headers, footers, and text box. Next, new ATS versions match your resume to your LinkedIn profile, and you want to make sure that your keywords are also matching important or imperative keywords that may be in the job description. Another key tip is to avoid using graphics or images or unusual fonts. These can sometimes confuse the ATS system and it can read information incorrectly. Another recommendation is to track your application process, your job searches. And here is an example of a potential slide Excel sheet that you may want to create with the company, the job title, the number, specific company information, the date that you applied, when you followed up, and any keynotes. Now let's take a look at following up do's and don'ts. For your do's, verify you've submitted all your application material. Ask about the hiring timeline and thank them for their consideration. Some don'ts. Ask why you haven't been called yet, or email or call more than once without asking how to follow up in the future. So how do you actually follow up on an application? Wait about 1 week after applying. Use email as your method. Address it to the hiring manager if possible. Keep it short and polite. Highlight 1 or 2 key qualifications and close with a professional line such as, I look forward to the opportunity to discuss how I can contribute to the team. Now let's look at a sample example of how to follow up on a follow-up email. That concludes the job search components. Next, we'll transition into graduate school search strategies. Now that we've covered the job search process, let's shift gears to graduate school search strategies. Just like with jobs, the first step is searching. When searching for graduate programs, it's important to give yourself plenty of time, about 5 to 6 months, to fully research your options. Start broad, cast a wide net, and then narrow down your programs as you learn more. So, where can you actually go to find graduate school programs? Let's look at some resources. These are excellent resources that are available to help you explore your programs. They have the Princeton Review, Peterson's, and gradschool.com. These sites allow you to compare programs' admissions requirements, cost, even rankings. Using multiple resources ensure you get a well-rounded view of your options. Once you gather the list of potential schools, the next step is to search each one more closely. Researching graduate programs is about looking beyond the basics. Don't just ask, does this school have my programs? Ask deeper questions. What are the faculty areas of expertise? What funding or assistantships are available? What's the program structure online, in person, or hybrid? And don't forget about the location and cost of living. And make sure that there's a career service available and active. Now let's take a look at the last component, which is applying to graduate school. Applying to graduate school often involves multiple parts: transcripts, test scores, letters of recommendations, resumes, personal statements. It's a lot to manage, which is why organization is key. Create a system for tracking deadlines and requirements for each school so nothing falls through the cracks. Before we look at a tracker, for example, let's talk about some strategies to stay organized. And these are some headings that you can use, such as your school, location, degree plan, cost, financial aid, and deadline. You can also make sure that you have it on a paper or digital format. Color code tasks, such as green for completed, yellow for in progress, red for urgent. Set reminders on your phone or calendar for upcoming dates, and keep digital folders for each school with saved essays, requirement, and correspondence. And here's an example of what you may want your tracker to look like. You can go a step further and try out these mini activities in regards to using a tracker for graduate applications and testing out each of these links. Now let's look at the main points of all of the presentation. These are the main points that you should gather from this presentation, whether it's job searching or searching for a graduate school. Stay organized. Follow the tips of researching, searching, networking, application, and follow-up. And make sure that you know yourself, identify your needs and your wants. That will help you in your process as well. This concludes the presentation. You can follow us on our many different social media platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also connect with us by sending an email at careers@uler.edu or also call us. Thank you for your time today. Remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goals. So keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward.